And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It's March 6th. It's 2026. Wish I had better things to report, but we deal in reality here. We'll get into it. This is serious talk on everything that affects you. We'll do the market, the economy, jobs, your industry, the Morlocks in D.C., war, tariffs, what have you. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed, and if you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice. We'll also post it on BizTV YouTube channel. And by the way, we're traveling now, so what we do, we have earbuds, the iPhone, and a software that fits right in to do the radio show. It used to work terrifically. For some reason, it's a little off, so we're looking at all the alternatives, because when I travel, I want to make sure the radio show sounds fine. So please bear with us. I know, we're the Flintstones here. All right. You listening? We believe that the semiconductors have now lost traction. This has been a port in a storm, a group that is led. We believe they're now going to go into their own corrective phase of unknown price and time. They had already weakened with the rest of the market in the last few days. It's now getting worse. How far it lasts, how long it goes, do not know. Could it be something like November, where they broke and then turned right back up? Anything's possible. We'll alert you. But for now, we saw it towards the latter part of the day. No traction. The leaders getting smoked, breaking support and or moving averages. But we're not done. You know how we have told you the artificial intelligence, the receivers, not the spenders, the receivers. Part of that is the semiconductors, the equipment makers. Well, we've talked about storage and memory and optical and data and all that crap. We think that's lost traction. And they really were coming after them today. We think some real tops are in place, and at the very least are going to go through a while of sorting it out. Symbols like LITE, SanDisk, symbol FN, topped for now. Notwithstanding little bounces. So a definitive thought process on this area. We're not telling you to buy, sell, short, cover. You get to decide. It's your money. But that was one hell of a sore thumb as we were watching today. Now, that was for starters. We'll get back into the market in moments. What have we told you about the job market in spite of what other people are trying to tell you? We think it's weak. Simple as that. We think the trajectory has not been great. We think it has been below par. February non-farm private payrolls down 86,000. Expectations were to be up 78,000. A difference of 164,000. That is not good news. Every industry lost jobs. Something is up. We believe it's definitely partially what's going on out there. What do we mean by that? We think there has been I don't know if the word is cultural. Okay, cultural change at corporate America. And that would be how many people are employed there. We believe they're trying to cut down to the lowest bone in order to instill or store as much profit. We also think artificial intelligence is also doing a little bit of that job. We believe the tariffs are doing that job. President didn't want to listen to us. Keep saying tariffs are the most beautiful word in the dictionary. No, they suck. They're a tax hike on business and consumer. We think there's a component of that. And that was that. Retail sales down less than expected for January. And of course, oil prices. Kids, oil prices, this is now, finished above $90 today. I must tell you, my expectation was, oil prices are going to go higher. Duh. That's an easy expectation. Oil prices are going to go higher. Never in my wildest did I foresee what they would do this week. Symbol USO, which basically is the spot price of oil, up 33% this week. And obviously that's, of course, because of the war. European jet fuel is now up over 70% this week. I got that number today. And of course, airline stocks are getting hit. Cruise lines hit. Travel hit. And the overall market roughed up. Wish I had better news. I don't. The Dow today was down 453. It was worse. The Dow today hit 47,009. So it was down. Really? The Dow finished at 47,501. Maybe I missed this early in the day. Yes, it was 47,009. It was down about 950. But that's not a saving grace because the NASDAQ finished near the lows of the day while the Dow came back. Remember what happens in the Dow. So buy up a little defensiveness. Boeing supposedly signing a deal with China for a bunch of planes. That was up 9, and that came out of nowhere. It actually went up $9 in the last 3 hours. So that helped a little. McDonald's was up. Johnson & Johnson was up. So somewhat on the defensive side. On the offensive side, the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index today down 307 to 7514. The NASDAQ down 361. NASDAQ 100 377. Russell 2000 down more than 2%. Mid-caps down more than 2%. And then, for instance, KLAC down $85 or 6%. Lam Research down 7%. Applied Materials 6%. Then you get into some of the glamour. LITE 14%. SanDisk I can just go through a litany of these things. When I say to you they got whacked, they got whacked. Wish I had better news? I do not. Markets are under pressure, and we have some support levels to let you know about. That's up next on this Investor's Edge. So we have a question. Is this all caused because of the war and oil prices? No. It's a good component. But I think the economy has got some issues. And as we have been saying now for weeks, we're very worried about this whole private credit crap. What private credit is a bunch of loans and package loans to companies. BlackRock just slashed the value of a private loan to zero just 3 months after assessing it at 100 cents on the dollar. This is the second sudden wipeout to recently hit its private credit division. That means zero. And as you know, we have been highlighting for a long while all these private credit mergers and acquisition financials that have been brutally beat up to the downside. I think that's part of the equation. Trust. I believe trust is waning for this administration. What do I mean by that? Well, whether you are his biggest supporter all the way to the other way, we are balls and strikes. We keep our ear to the ground, and I can safely tell you there's really worry about decision making. Let me tell you what I am getting as far as input. And a lot of it is from people that are big fans. Number one, they didn't prepare. They didn't prepare for the potential of these oil prices skyrocketing. They didn't prepare for people that were over there in the Middle East to get them the hell out of there. They didn't prepare. And all this is on the news. And of course, what about Iran's abilities? I'm no General Patton or Norman Schwarzkopf, but I would have never believed that Iran had the capabilities of what they are doing. So I think there's that component also. And kids, if you've seen the poll numbers, you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. And do not forget the intangible of confidence matters in the market. And then the mouths. And then the mouths. I have to tell you, I was stunned today. Stunned today. Stunned today when the president was asked about gas prices skyrocketing. This was his quote. If they rise, they rise. Now, that quote was in the context of other things, but that one sentence was by itself. And I posted to that, oh, that will win votes. If they rise, they rise. And in case you don't know, go look at the pump at your gas station. And by the way, add another 20 cents in the next few days, if not more. I couldn't believe that was said. If they rise, they rise. Then they came out and said, to the effect of, we think it's more important we do this and worry about later. Okay. As we have stated, we love a lot of things the president's done. We don't love a lot of things he's done. We love some things he said. We don't love some things he said. We're balls and strikes here. We're rooting him on to be as successful as can be. We're rooting him on to be as successful as can be. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. Affordability was already an issue. The midterm election's already lost. Now put a stamp on it. I said on TV today, the only cure of this is not interfering in the oil markets like they're talking about. It's getting the job done sooner rather than later and getting the hell out of there. Simple as that. Wish I had better news. Any redeeming qualities today in the market? No. There's some stocks up. You still have good relative strength in the software. By the way, the software ETF IGV with the NASDAQ down 361 was up 35 cents because some of the beaten up had another good day. I'm looking at Workday up $3, HubSpot up 5, Adobe up, Salesforce up, SAP up. Whoopee. Hey, up next. What else we got for you? Much. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And look, once again, to Investor's Edge. Some more tidbits today. Oracle. Rumors have it they are going to potentially can 20 to 30,000 people to free up money to, for the expansion of AI data centers and all that crap. Great. I mentioned the BlackRock thing. There are others. This is worrying. The cost of shipping crude. You ready for this? From the U.S. to Asia is skyrocketing. It now costs over $29 million to hire a supertanker to take 2 million barrels of crude from the U.S. Gulf Coast to China, the highest on record. They have doubled in just 2 weeks. I'm hoping to find some good news. Oh, I got some good news. Give me a minute. How about this? Data center. Every major tech company on earth just spent billions of dollars building AI data centers in the Gulf. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Oracle, all of them sitting right there in the middle of a war zone. Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar. They're not just oil hubs. They became the world's AI infrastructure backbone, billions in servers. Iran has launched 1,400 missiles and drones at Gulf states. Hotels and residential buildings in Bahrain already hit. UAE absorbed 186 ballistic missiles and 812 drones. Kuwait's U.S. air base is still burning. Saudi Arabia intercepting drones near military facilities. Yeah. And by the way, those stats is what I meant by I don't think we were prepared for this type of whatever you want to call it. The good news, I'll throw one in. Iran's missile launches have plummeted 94% in just 5 days amid U.S. strikes that have destroyed 200 of their launchers. Okie dokie. That's good news. So how the hell are they still? Back on private credit. As we tell you here, we don't follow everybody. But there's some people we follow, and I'm not going to name a name. But a major, smart hedge fund guy that I follow sent a private letter to his limited partners saying that private credit, a lot of it is a fraudulent bubble. Our key takeaway from this behavior is that distribution cuts are so worrisome that some bad actors are playing Enron-like accounting games. And they called out certain funds. We'll let you know. We are prepared for anything and everything. But we can tell you that deterioration has been oy vey. Hoping for better, prepared for the worst. There's been a lot of damage done technically. Areas that were strong. Transport's down another 673 today. They were strong. Retail. And what did we say to you? Retail numbers, not thrilled with. You got a moment? Because retail, Dillard's down $31 today. It is $500 stock. Ralph Lauren 15. Ulta Salon 7. Williams Sonoma 7. Victoria's Secret another 6. Five Below 6. Small losses, but still. Abercrombie & Fitch, Estee Lauder, Floor & Decor, The Gap. Gap's down, by the way, no pun intended. Housing and housing related. Blasted. I mentioned transports. Ryder down 11. JB Hunt down 12. FedEx down 14. Union Pacific down 6. Old Dominion Freight down 16. That was just at new highs. SAIA down 36. Commodities coming in. Worry about growth. Speaking of growth, WW Grainger down 32. United Rentals 33. Parker Hannifin 41. And then there's financials, which came off the floor. Goldman Sachs was down 14 today, was down over 30. But still bad. Just letting you know. If anything changes, we'll let you know. The nascent move in crypto, rolling back over because market conditions. Software still has very good relative strength, though. But as we have said to you, this is a recovery, not a bull market, but we'll keep it on watch. New yearly highs have really tanked. New yearly lows, much more than new yearly highs, and unfortunately advanced declines today. 1,029 up on the New York, 3,577 down. On the NASDAQ, 1,387 up, 3,280 down. Mid caps break the 50-day moving average quite easily. Small caps break the 50-day moving average. Yesterday and more today, the Dow, now neatly below it, got a little defense today. Doesn't thrill me too much. So we repeat. Traction looks lost on the semis and all them glamour names. They had been holding up very well. That's not good news. We'll see what happens over the weekend. Again, wish we had better for you. But we deal in reality with no agenda, no ulterior motive, no bias. And now we'll see the S&P's hanging in there. Hanging in there. Hanging in there. Is it next? We'll put that question mark as we go into next week. Got a bunch to deal with. We believe the markets were fine once the big tariffs went away, and oil prices were quite stable to down. That has all changed. And the market, unfortunately, was used to stable oil. Remember I kept saying stable oil, stable yields. Well, yields, they're okay. And actually reversed nicely to the downside today after being up. Oil prices looks like a SpaceX rocket. And again, if anything changes, we'll let you know. By the way, oil prices officially, their largest weekly gain on record, 34.5% up this week. I'm going to guess the average at the pump, 350, 375 real soon. Hey, up next, we'll figure it out. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. You remember October 7th, right? A bunch of scumbag, coward terrorists murdered, raped, blew up, burned infants, the elderly, women, families, in the most vile of ways. They kidnapped many and on a daily basis raped both men and women, starved them to death in the most vile of ways, kept them in the most vile conditions. October 7th. We have just found out that the wife of the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, liked content celebrating the October 7th attacks, the murder, the rape, the destruction, the burning, the blowing up, the kidnapping of babies, elderly, women, families. And it posted in videos, liked, celebrating one of the most heinous terrorist attacks on record. When the mayor was asked about it, here was his answer. My wife is the love of my life. She's a private person who has held no formal position on my campaign or in my city hall. End of sentence. So the mayor of New York is telling us all that she's a private person who celebrates the murder, the slaughter, the raping, the kidnapping of babies, elderly, families, children. The mayor of New York sucks. And I gather you know what I think of his wife. And I gather you know that I believe he believes the same, as every one of his hires are people that are Jew haters, Israel haters, and obviously celebrators of one of the most heinous, if not the most heinous terrorist attack on record. And we have to sit here and take it. I'm sickened. Sickened. Maybe I'll be running for mayor of New York City. This guy should not be running a lemonade stand. That's my take. All right. Any good news? Well, my wife's pneumonia is gone. I'm now all better. How's that for good news? Hope you've been listening. We've been guiding you through what to avoid for a long while. There's more avoids now. There's more avoids now. And we'll have more to say if it continues. We're in a moment, cause and effect. But again, we think there's more. Private equity, lending, and now add in, the job market, and now add in what can only be explained as an oil shock caused by our attempt to fix up the Middle East and get rid of some bad. We do believe that there's been a miscalculation, but I gather many would have miscalculated. Hoping for better, I read to you how there have been less and less attacks out of Iran. Hopefully they run out. We hope the president is careful with his words. If gas prices go down, they go down is not the way to talk to the American people that are already feeling some pain on the affordability front, that are now going to feel serious pain at the gas pump. Some good reactions to earnings today. Marvell. Can't go further than that. That all said, have a great weekend. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Hoping for better days ahead. Peace out, all. Good night.